Hello, this is Jack from teachingeslonline.com, and today we are going to dive deep into social media for online teachers and online creators, or anybody who wants to make social media work for their online business or even offline business. So I've been doing this for a number of years now, and in addition to this channel, I have a channel for English language learners, and I have a program for those learners too. So I'm going to talk about the strategy that I've been using to make social media work for me. We're going to talk about evergreen versus what I call hustle content. We're going to talk about whether you should be everywhere or focus just on one platform. And then we're going to look at the different platforms and how to make those platforms work for you and your business. Let's start with strategy, because this is such an important part before you actually get started. And you want to think about what it is that you want people to do. Now, this might sound like you already know this and it's obvious, but I see a lot of people posting on social media without having this idea in mind. You can think about the action you want people to take and the different stages that they go through, but the end goal should be clear. Is it to book a trial lesson with you? Is it to come to your restaurant? Is it to book a consultation? Is it to buy your course? What is the end goal that you want people to do? Now, there are certain people who are on social media who monetize social media and that's it. Probably known best as influencers, where they'll use YouTube AdSense, they'll have sponsored posts, and they'll sell merchandise. But most people will want to do something on top of that and use social media as more of a lead generation tool. Now, using my example, I want people to buy the To Fluency program. This is a program for English language learners. So I create free content on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram mainly, and then I have a call to action, and it's either to go download my book for free, which then takes people through my email marketing systems and then offers the course later on, or I tell people to directly go to the course sales page and check it out. Go take a look and maybe buy it. So it's one of those two things that I get people to do. So this method is all about giving out free content, but then also having a call to action with the end goal in mind. So this is the best place to start before you start delving into social media. When it comes to the different social media platforms, I like to rank them in terms of how evergreen they are. And what I mean by evergreen is this. When I made some videos in 2015, I knew that if they did well, people would be watching those in 2019, 5 years later. And that has worked out. So there are certain videos I made 5 years ago which are still being found on YouTube. People are still watching those videos and taking action on them. Those videos are evergreen. Another example of evergreen content is blogging. So if your blog posts get ranked in Google and they stay ranked in Google, then people are going to find those posts later on. Now, we're not talking so much about blogging in this video, but it's just a good example to think about when it comes to evergreen content. And I think the best platform for evergreen content is YouTube. The opposite of that is something that I like to call hustle content, where you're posting on social media knowing that people are going to see it in the next day or so, but after that it's not going to be found by anyone else, except for somebody who goes through your profile and just goes back to old videos. It's not going to get picked up in the rankings. It's not going to get picked up by Google. And the perfect example of this is something like Instagram stories, where you'll post a story and people are going to see it for 24 hours and then it's gone. So in order to get attention again, you need to post more stories. Personally, I favor evergreen content over hustle content, but I also post on Instagram stories and on Facebook because they're useful tools as well. So it's allowing me to reach more people. But the reason why I prefer evergreen content is because it works for me over the longer term, and also because of the nature of my business. I constantly need to bring in more course sales for my business, and evergreen content allows me to do that. So I personally put a lot of attention on YouTube. It's where I put most of my focus. And then I also delve into the other social media platforms. And this is a key point, because some people say be everywhere, be on every social media channel. And I think, yeah, okay, but focus on one. make one your priority. I put my attention on YouTube. It's my priority. I make sure I post every week at least. I make sure that my videos are good and that I'm making sure that that channel grows. So now at this point, it is overwhelming trying to be everywhere. And to overcome this, pick one platform, go all in on it. And then if you can, post on other platforms too. So let's start with YouTube, and I'll give you some tips and advice when using YouTube. Firstly, there is quite the learning curve, but it's important to actually take action and learn while you're doing it. So the learning curve mainly comes down to technology. What camera are you going to use? What microphone, lighting systems, all those types of things. And then also how to produce content that people are going to like. When it comes to the equipment, start off with your phone if you're in doubt. So many channels started off through low quality video, and iPhones and other smartphones these days, they have really high quality video cameras. They're going to give you great content. So start with your smartphone if in doubt. But I'll leave a link in the description to what I recommend you get if you want to upgrade from there. And then if in doubt about what kind of videos to make, again, go with what you know and get started now. And then just look at what other people are doing, see what's popular. Don't copy them directly, but get inspired by people and also get ideas from other people too. But I see a lot of people start with YouTube and then they soon stop because it takes a lot of work to build up your channel initially. At first, you have to think about how can I get more people watching these videos? How can I send more people to my videos? But after a while, you'll gain some momentum and your subscribers will start sharing your videos and everything will just take care of itself. At first, it takes a lot of work and people get frustrated. They don't get the results they want to see straight away. But if you want to commit to YouTube, commit to it. Be consistent, stick with it and learn as you go. And if you want to grow quickly, then I highly recommend collaborating with other people. This is a great way for channels to grow. It's a great way for YouTube to then start recommending your content based on those other channels because there's some kind of overlap there. So get collaborating with other people who are in your niche. Let's talk about Facebook now. Now, Facebook used to be my #1 social media channel. I used to have a very large following, I still do, but in terms of the reach I got, it was incredible. And I used to be part of all these groups where people knew who I was. I posted there, I posted links to my YouTube channel. Well, actually back in the day, you could just embed YouTube videos on there because Facebook wasn't big on video. And I got a lot of traction, but like a lot of people, that started to go down, the organic reach. The key point though is this: if I committed to Facebook, I would have a much larger organic reach. If I made it my #1 priority, then I would be doing very well on Facebook. And I still am doing quite well on that platform. A few months back, I posted a lot of videos, the square videos with the little title at the top and the subtitles here. And those did so well. I got thousands of views on them. The only thing is though, I went back to look at my stats and the viewer retention is very poor on Facebook because people are just used to scrolling. When you think about the difference between Facebook and YouTube, think about how many pieces of content you consume on YouTube every time you go on that app versus how many pieces of content on Facebook. Facebook is a scrolling platform. YouTube is, okay, I'm gonna watch this video, and you watch the video. Yes, if you're bored within a few seconds or within a minute, you're going to move on. But still, it just has a much higher audience retention. But Facebook is still a really good platform if you use it right. And you can also do things like join groups, connect with people, join groups and just be part of that community. That's a great way when you're first starting to get your voice out there, to get in front of people and to connect with people. And I also use Facebook a lot for advertising, especially retargeting. I love Facebook retargeting ads. They've worked so well for me and they still do. If you're not sure what that is, it's a way for you to retarget people who have watched a video or been on your website. And then you can place an ad in front of people who already know you. Next one is Instagram. Now, Instagram blew up last year, especially, I feel, through a lot of the new features that they started to add. Things like live, stories, stickers, questions. They were constantly adding new features, and stories especially gained a lot of traction. But what I'm hearing and seeing is that, again, organic reach is going down. And I think that this happens a lot for platforms when they start to become saturated and more mature. Because when you think about it, when people start creating more content and a lot of people come to that platform because they see a marketing opportunity, there's more content for people to consume. So yours might get lost in the noise. But again, if you do it right, you're going to have great reach. This is a key part to all of this. It's about creating content for that platform, native content that people are going to enjoy. And another thing is that if you're constantly trying to get people off the platform, they're not going to have a good engagement rate, and that platform isn't going to promote your posts. So think about creating native content for the platform. And with Instagram, this means stories or 1-minute videos or pictures. It makes it quite simple in a way because you're restricted to 1 minute when it comes to videos. You can post pictures which are better when they're square, so you're not thinking about what type of ratio to use. And stories are so easy to create because they're done on your phone in vertical mode, and there are so many different interactive elements for you. I find Instagram is great for engagement. I tell people to go to my profile to take action, but I just find it a great way to build the brand and connect with people. Twitter is an interesting one because I haven't used it that much, and a lot of people who are in the niche I'm in don't really focus on Twitter. So going back to this idea of focusing on one platform for content and then having others just tick along in the background, I find a lot of teachers just let Twitter tick along. They don't make it their focus. They don't focus a lot of attention on that. Having said that, people in the language teaching niche where they're talking to other language teachers are big on Twitter. And there are certain niches where a lot of people are on there. But for me, it's just not a big part of what I want to do. Now, I do like consuming content on Twitter. I think it's a great platform for that. And again, while I'm saying this, I'm thinking about my strategy for the future in Twitter. Maybe I'm going to use it a lot more. And one way to use it actually is to connect with people. It's a great platform for engagement. So if somebody in your niche posts something, you can comment on there. You can start a conversation going. You can also direct message people without being spammy and just get conversations going that way. Let me know if Twitter has worked for you. Another one to consider is LinkedIn. And again, this is for more of a one-to-one discussion. Although people are starting to talk about the news feed and a lot more attention going to the LinkedIn news feed. I won't say too much about LinkedIn because a friend of mine wrote a post on my website talking about how to use LinkedIn to get students and to get clients for your business. So go check that out if you want to learn more about it. And then there are so many other platforms to think about, and it just depends on you and your goals and your time. So I've considered looking into TikTok because it's really taken off this year. There's another company that got in contact with me recently saying that their platform's great. I delved into Snapchat a few years ago, but I haven't used it for a long time. Again, it just depends on you and what you want to achieve. But the key thing is, if you want that platform to work for you, then you need to really put energy into it. And for some people, it might mean not using social media at all. For example, if you are a one-to-one teacher of a language, there are many other ways that you can get your own learners. You can put up flyers around cities, you can post on classified websites online, you can get in touch with old students, you can use your network, and then you can get referrals. Because I actually started without social media. I got students without using social media. But when it came along, I decided to jump on it and try it out. And it allowed me to grow my business too, because I started to build an audience. And I start to think about what could I use this audience for? How can I benefit from it? So in summary, think about what the end goal is for your social media strategy. Have an actual strategy as well, content plus call to action. Think about which platforms you want to use. Don't get overwhelmed by trying to be everywhere. And finally, go take my 5-day email marketing challenge. You probably know how important it is to use email in your business. And if you're not doing it properly or if you've not started yet, then click the link in the description because it's going to take you to a page where you can register for this challenge. And I'm going to give you lots of information for free on how you can use email in your business and how you can incorporate social media with this too. So thank you so much for watching, for being here. Let me know if you've enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you did. Leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe. Speak to you soon.